You keep asking for change, but change doesn't answer noise, it answers structure. You think you need more motivation, but what you need is order, a system that serves your future. Because right now, your mind is obeying a code you didn't write, and if you don't reset it, it will destroy you silently, every day. You repeat what you don't remember choosing. Wake up, scroll, compare, hesitate, start. Things you won't finish. Ignore the whisper that says, this isn't who you're supposed to be. And so the days blend into regret, until you can't tell if you're tired or just empty. But here's the truth. You're not broken. You're just running on an outdated code. A system built from survival, not design. Habits passed down by people who never escaped their own. Voices planted in childhood that still echo louder than your own. You've been programmed to stay small, to avoid risk, to crave approval, and yet deep down, you feel the fracture, the split between the life you perform and the life that haunts you in silence. That tension, it's not weakness, it's your real self demanding resurrection, but resurrection begins with a reset. Not a quick fix, a complete system override. Not a motivational speech, but a new code. You didn't wake up today to repeat yesterday. But if you don't interrupt the script, it will run you, because systems don't care how you feel, they care what you repeat. And right now, your system is automated for survival, not significance. You reach for comfort when you should reach for clarity. You chase distraction when you should chase design. You talk about goals, but live inside reactions. That's not failure, that's automation, and automation is deadly one. It protects your past instead of building your future. This is the moment you stop worshipping motivation and start building identity. Because motivation fades, but identity governs. Every action you talk votes for the person you are becoming. So what are you voting for? Who are you rehearsing every day? The victim or the visionary? The reactor or the builder? The noise or the order? Every habit is a seed, and right now, your future is being planted in the dark. You can either grow chaos by default, or grow power by design. But you cannot grow both. Choose. You want discipline, but discipline doesn't come from force. It comes from truth. You've tried willpower and failed. You've tried hype and burned out. Because willpower is fraudulent. The system is broken. You don't fix your life by trying harder. You fix it by making your defaults impossible to ignore. Make success your autopilot. Make purpose your pattern. Because when your system is stronger than your emotions, you win even on your weakest days. But to build that, you must confront the real enemy, comfort. Comfort feels like peace, but it's actually paralysis. It keeps you sedated, passive, predictable. Comfort is not your friend, it is the cage that feels like a couch. And as long as you keep choosing ease over excellence, you will feel busy but never powerful. So stop negotiating with the old code, burn it. Replace every comfort with clarity, every excuse with action, every distraction with design. Because you don't just need to work harder, you need to become someone new. And that requires discomfort, repeated, relentless, intentional. Everyone wants the results, but few are willing to become the version of themselves that can carry them. Because transformation isn't about chasing bigger goals. It's about becoming smaller in ego and larger in consistency. You don't need a better plan. You need to outlast your excuses. One quiet habit, done with precision, can overthrow 1,000 loud intentions. The world tells you to think big, but forgets to tell you, thinking big without acting small leads to delusion. The ones who win aren't the loudest, they're the ones who disappear long, enough to build in silence. And when they return, they don't ask for permission. They don't explain their absence. They simply move different. Because while others watched, they worked. While others posted, they practiced. While others chased applause, they planted systems. And now, they don't need validation, they operate. From conviction, your daily decisions are not neutral. They are contracts with your future. Sign carefully. You think transformation looks like lightning, sudden, dramatic, visible. But real change looks like repetition in the dark. It looks like waking up early when no one notices. It looks like closing your mouth when ego wants to prove something. It looks like deleting the app, not because you're weak but because you're clear. It looks like saying no over and over again until your yes finally means something. There is no secret, no magic, just systems. Habits are not a hack, they are the hinges of destiny. Because over time, your rituals become your reputation. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you sink to the structure of your systems. And if your structure is reaction, you will live in relapse. But if your structure is discipline, even your off days will move you forward. That's the secret. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be automatic. And automation is built in the dark long before the light finds you. Your environment is not neutral. It's either building your minder, bleeding it dry. The apps on your phone, the words on your walls, the people you call friends. Every piece of your environment is either a seed or a trap, and yet you stay loyal to chaos, calling it normal. You say you want clarity, but live in digital noise. You say you want purpose, but stay surrounded by doubt. Here's the truth. You cannot heal in the same environment that broke your rhythm. You cannot evolve in the same atmosphere that trained your numbness. If your surroundings don't challenge your excuses, they are part of the system you must reset. And that reset isn't comfortable. It requires exit, silence, distance, detachment. You don't escape distraction by managing it to escape, by replacing it with design. Design environments where your goals feel normal. Design mornings that eliminate decision fatigue. Design silence into your system so noise never owns your mind again. You are not a product of your dreams. You are a product of what you allow around you. Choose wisely, because the room you sit in becomes the life you live. There is a version of you that already exists on the other side of your patterns. That version doesn't beg for time, it commands time. It doesn't chase motivation, it builds from meaning. But to reach that version, you must go silent. Silence isn't weakness, it is construction. It's where your new code is, written without the corruption of opinions. Because here's what they won't tell you. You can't hear your new voice until you stop repeating the old. 1. You can't become free while clinging to what's familiar. You must let the old wiring die, the need to be seen, the habit of rushing, the addiction to proving. None of it belongs in the new system. This rebuild isn't public, it's sacred, and when it's finished, you won't need to announce it. Your presence will reveal it. Your stillness will speak it. Your focus will lead it. So stop trying to explain your transformation. Disappear into the discipline it makes you unrecognizable. Pain will visit you. That's not a threat, it's a law. You can either meet pain as a student or fight it as a victim. But if you fight it, you remain fragile. If you study it, you become forged. Because everything that breaks, Yui also trying to build you. But only if you let it. You've been told to avoid resistance, to chase peace. But peace without resistance size, delusion, and growth without pan is fiction. Real transformation is antifragile. It feeds off adversity. It strengthens under pressure. But only when the system is built right. Only when your identity doesn't crumble under criticism. Only when your emotions done detour your purpose. You are not here to be comfortable. You are here to be complete. And completionly happens when your mind learns to stay composed, while your world trembles. That kind of stillness is not taught, it is earned, daily. Through patterns stronger than panic. You want to lead your life, then lead your emotions, because no external system can override an internal storm. Most people don't fail because they lack goals. They fail because their mood decides their direction. If you're only disciplined when you feel good, you're not disciplined. You're convenient. Real systems don't bow to mood swings. They're coded in purpose, not feeling. This is the shift from emotional reaction to structural response. You wake up and the schedule leads you. You feel off, but the ritual guides you. You doubt yourself, but the process protects you. This is how you build emotional armor, by trusting the system more than your current emotion. Because your emotions lie. They echo your fears, not your future. They scream in the dark, but fade under routine. So when the emotion hits, pause. Don't run, don't post, don't perform. Just go back to the system. Because your system is your spine. And when that spine is aligned, you don't just survive storms, you bend the wind. You've reset the code. You've rebuilt the system. Now you move with force, not because you're loud, but because you're aligned. You no longer wait for signs. You no longer ask for direction. You are the signal now. And that signal is purpose, not ambition. Purpose, there's a difference. Ambition wants applause. Purpose wants alignment. Ambition wants results. Purpose builds rhythm. You don't chase anymore. You attract through structure, through silence, through sacrifice, the old you wanted. Shortcuts, the new you became the road. The old you wanted answers. The new you lives in action. Now, when the world gets louder, you get stiller. When others hesitate, you execute. Because you're not leading from hype, you're leading from habit. You've proven to yourself that identity is not found, it is built. And once it's built, it leads the world without needing its approval. That's who you are now, not a follower, not a faker, but the architect of your mind, of your future, of a system that knows longer obeys fear but commands movement. Your identity is not your name, it's not your job, not your story, not your followers, not your failures. Your identity is the system you protect when no one is watching. And if that system is built on anxiety, you will call chaos your home. If that system is built on approval, you will call silence your enemy. But when your system is built on vision, when every thought aligns with truth, every action with values, every day with discipline and identity becomes automatic. You no longer need to ask, who am I today? You already know, because you programmed it. You wrote the rules, you set the structure, and now your body obeys the blueprint your soul designed. That's what they fear most, not your strength, but your clarity. A person who knows who they error moves without noise. They don't chase light, they generate it. And the world bends, not because they push, but because they don. Excellence is not what you do when everyone sees. It's what you repeat when no one does. Most people wait for the world to notice, then try to perform. But those who dominatorialize the polishable, they polish what no one claps for. They refine what never gets applause. They don't chase results, they chase rhythm. And in that rhythm, they lose the need to impress. Because they've impressed themselves in private, so duplicate, external praise feels like noise. You want mastery, then fall in love with boredom. Fall in love with silence, with slow, with steady, because the ones who repeat with focus win against the ones who sprint with emotion. Every dot, single dot time. This is how power is transferred silently, not in stages, not in spotlight, but in sat. Run deep enough to carry even when the world forgets your name. Because the system remembers dot, and systems never lie. The old version of you is dying. Don't resuscitate it. Don't mourn it. Don't post about it. Bury it. Let it rest beneath the habits that failed. Let it rot inside the identity that feared. Because that version was never the truth. It was the reaction, a construct built by survival, programmed by scarcity. It screamed louder when you got closer to purpose, because purpose threatens survival mode. Purpose silences ego, and ego never dies quietly, but you are not here to comfort your ego. You are here to crucify it so that something deeper can rise. Something honest, something unshakable. You don't need to pretend anymore. You don't need to flex. You don't need to project strength. Because now you live in it. The real Yaudescent. Yell that it moves. And when it moves, systems follow. People follow. And the old leaf can no longer hold Yobakas. You don't belong to it. You don't need more time. You need fewer distractions. You don't need another plan. You need execution. You don't need permission. You need presence. Because everything you seek us already inside of you, buried beneath patterns that taught you to doubt. But now that code has been broken. You don't move for applause. You don't wait for direction. You don't search for meaning. You apply it through every habit, every decision, every breath that aligns with who you were born to become. There is no more waiting. No more thinking about change now. Your system is the change. You're no longer trying to feel powerful. You're too busy building it. And when someone asks how you did it, you won't point to luck. You'll point to patterns. You'll point to process. You'll point to the quiet war you fought in your own mind. And one dot, this is not a speech. This is your system reboot. This is your identity version 2.0, activated in silence, not through hype, but through honor. Honor of your mind, honor of your vision, honor of the process that asked for everything, then returned, more than you could imagine. You've let go of the noise. You've killed the old script. You've replaced chaos with cadence. And now the world will adjust. Not because you screamed, but because your presence now commands. You lead not through control, but through clarity. You move not from force, but from flow. You don't need to start over. You've already started different. And this version of you, this version doesn't chase. It builds. It doesn't break. It bends. It doesn't wait. It leads. Because you finally realized your future doesn't belong to your past. It belongs to your patterns. And now you write them in discipline, in silence, in fire.